Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am here for a new tag video. I was tagged to do this by Julie, who is the original creator of this, and I'm not gonna lie, I saw this, I instantly wanted to do it. This is the most fun new book tag, and I'm gonna tag a bunch of people down in the description down below. I'm gonna say that now because I always forget to tag people in tag videos, so check that down below. I will also leave her original video linked down below as well if you would like to see her take on this. But basically, this is going to be a video where we take a concept for a story and you pick two authors and you try and pick which author would write that concept better. If that makes sense. As I go through this, you'll understand what I'm doing. So I have two mugs here, and both of these are from Owlcrate, both of which I love. I'm just a huge fan of their mugs that they have sent out. And in this jar, I have a whole bunch of like story prompts, just kind of like a genre or a type of story. And in this one, I have a whole bunch of authors listed. So I'm gonna pick a type of story, and I'm gonna pick two authors and decide which one would write that better. I tried to include a lot of authors that have either covered a lot of genres, like their writing styles are pretty varied, and I put in authors who are definitely in like a niche genre. So this will be interesting, so let's go. So first I'm going to pick a story prompt. So this one, what is it gonna be? So this is going to be a YA fantasy about a special snowflake trope, but with LGBT romance in it. So that is the type of book, and I have, oh god, they're already tangled together. I have two authors here. So we have Mindy McGinnis, who is pretty varied in every type of thing that she writes. I'm pretty sure she's covered all genres. And we have Marissa Meyer, who is starting to do the same thing. She started with retellings, and now she is branching out. So if YA fantasy with the special snowflake trope, but with LGBT plus influence. I think that Mindy McGinnis is actually pretty good at staying away from the very cliche tropes that we see a lot in fantasy, but she has a lot of variation and she does have LGBT plus influence. But Marissa Meyer, I feel like, would be a solid choice for YA fantasy special snowflake, and I'd like to see her include some LGBT romance, so I'm gonna go with Marissa Meyer for this one. Okay, are you guys getting this concept? So I'm gonna pick another type of story. So this one is going to be a YA magical realism set in the 80s. Intrigue. So I'm going to pick two authors. There's one, there's the other. So we have Emma Mills, that's very much YA fluffy contemporary, and Marie Lu. Neither of them, I don't know who I would pick for magical realism more. Both of them are pretty set in their writing style, and I feel like magical realism takes some like very whimsical writing, and I don't really think either of them have like the whimsy factor for magical realism, and set in the 80s. I think this is going to be closer to a contemporary, like the vibe that I'm feeling is like kind of like 80s hair metal, contemporary with some weird things thrown in, and I think I would like to see Emma Mills do that, just because I want to see her branch out from like fluffy high school contemporary, and I feel like her writing is good enough now that I would like to see her just kind of branch into a little bit more, and I feel like baby steps into the fantasy direction is magical realism, so I'm gonna go with Emma Mills for that one. Okay, new story prompt. So this is going to be a fluffy new adult romance, but without any of the cliche tropes, as in this is going to be a new adult romance that gets 5-starred by like the top reviewers. That's the vibe I'm going for. Like, they avoid all of the cliche things that happen in fluffy romance, and it's just solid, and it's good, it's well written. So let's see. Picking two authors. All of my papers are stuck together. Give me one, there's the other. Okay, so we have Jennifer L. Armentrout. Okay, we already have a fairly varied new adult author. She's kind of bridged the gap between new adult, YA, and adult. She's kind of covered all the bases there, but she writes a lot of smut. And we have Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith is the weirdest writer ever. So I'm gonna have to go with Jennifer L. Armentrout. I haven't been wowed by her writing recently, but I feel like a lot of her stories still have some good romance in it that are healthy in some of her books. Not all of them, but I just can't picture Andrew Smith writing anything fluffy, to be completely honest. His writing is good, but I can't see the fluff happening. Okay, picking the next one. This one's large. This is going to be a YA psychological thriller with a huge plot twist. So like, gonna blow people's minds. We'll get one and we'll get two here. So we have Maggie Stiefvater, oh man, and Sarah J. Maas. my two favorite authors. Who is going to write the psychological thriller? With a huge plot twist. I feel like Maggie Stiefvater is better at plot twists, but a YA psychological thriller. I don't know, I haven't seen Sarah J Maas do anything but fantasy, so I can't really judge her writing as far as any other genre. Like, she's got the fantasy on lock. She understands how to write that and how to write that well, but I feel like Maggie Stiefvater has kind of covered a lot of different bases. I think she could definitely do that. And she definitely has had some like jaw-dropping moments in her series, so I'm gonna go with Maggie Stiefvater for that one. Even though I love Sarah J Maas, I just don't see her writing thrillers. Okay, next one. We have a new adult urban fantasy with a kick-ass female protagonist. I'm down with that. So who is going to write that? We have one, and we have, give me one. We have two now. Okay, so we have Sophie Jordan, who has written a lot of different things recently. She wrote the Reign of Fire series, but she also has written Unleashed, which is more of like a psychological thriller. She's kind of touched on a lot. She wrote the Dragon series a while ago. And we have Beth Revis, who also has written a lot of different things. She wrote like A World Without You, which is kind of like a magical realism mental health story. And she wrote the Across the Universe series, and the new book that she has coming out this fall is definitely dark fantasy. So she's covered all her bases too. What is the prompt? I forgot the prompt already. New adult urban fantasy with a kick-ass female protagonist. Shoot, I feel like both of them could do that. I think that Beth Revis's writing has a heavier hitting tone to it, but I feel like Sophie Jordan writes really strong female protagonists better. So I think I'm gonna go with Sophie Jordan for that one. That one was tough. Next prompt is a YA dystopian that changes the game. Like one that doesn't follow all of the tropes that we're all sick of seeing. I'm looking for like a Scythe type of story where it blows people's minds. So 1 and 2, I got 2. Okay. So we have Adam Silvera and we have Holly Black. I'm gonna have to go with Holly Black. Holly Black's writing changes the game. Like, she's mostly in fantasy, but she's definitely written different things, and I really just feel like every book that she comes out with changes the game for the genre. Like, The Cruel Prince changed the game for YA fantasy. Her writing just takes everything to the next level, so I'm gonna go with Holly Black for that. We're gonna go with this large one. This one is the tropiest of tropey YA paranormal romance. The most cringy type of Twilight story that you can think of. I had to throw some funny ones in there. It can't all be serious. So, okay, got 2. This is going to be Neil Shusterman versus Jay Kristoff. No! These are 2 really good male authors. I don't want either of them writing the tropiest of tropey paranormal romance. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna go with Jay Kristoff on this because I feel like he is like self-aware of tropes and he's very conscious of like the book community, so I think he knows what people make fun of, and I feel like he would be able to write a story and kind of like flip it on its head and make us all laugh at all of the tropiest tropes, if you know what I mean. I feel like Neil Shusterman is going in a much more serious direction with his stories. Like Challenger Deep and Scythe that have come out recently have just like revolutionized his writing, and I can't really see him making fun of tropes in his books right now. So I'm gonna go with Jay, even though I don't want either of them to write that. We're getting down there. I think I only have 3 left. So this one is going to be an adult fantasy about mermaids, because I don't know if those exist or not, but I want to read one. Like, I want to read like a really dark, sexy mermaid story that's like adult content and written well. That's what I'm shooting for with this one. Okay, we got Laini Taylor and we got Patrick Rothfuss. Well, Patrick Rothfuss apparently doesn't like write at all anymore because, hello, we're still waiting on the 3rd book there. But I am gonna go with Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor, I feel like, is kind of bridging the gap between YA and adult. Like, her writing can translate both ways. I'm pretty sure her books are also shelved in New Adult in the UK. So I think she has the adult market locked down without it being like super high fantasy. I want to see Laini Taylor's take on that because her writing is dark. Her writing potentially could be sexy. I'd like to see that. Oh, I'm gonna go with Laini Taylor for a smexy mermaid story. Okay, 2 left. This one is going to be a YA contemporary dealing with a dark trigger warning. So a contemporary, but like a dark contemporary that's dealing with like hard-hitting topics like mental health or like diverse issues like racism or just abusive type situations, things of that nature. Alrighty, picking two. We have Pierce Brown, probably not gonna happen, or Rainbow Rowell. That's kind of an easy one. I'm gonna go with Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell kind of has the YA contemporary world like secured in her writing. Like she's kind of the queen of YA contemporary right now. And I feel like she already deals with some mental health in her books, and I think it's done very well. It's represented very well, so I think she could take it like a step darker. I would love to see that. Okay, and last one is a historical fiction with paranormal influence. Intrigue. And my last two authors are going to be Colleen Hoover, probably not, or Morgan Matson. Oh man, I have two fluffy authors. Who is going to write historical fiction with paranormal? Oh man. I have no idea. Both of them are super modern, contemporary, fluff writers. Colleen Hoover is starting to deal with heavier things in her stories. Morgan Matson is just like summertime reading in my mind. I would definitely have to really reevaluate my view of her to pick up something historical fiction, including paranormal influence in it. But Colleen Hoover, I just associate with like smutty fluff. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I think I want Morgan Matson to write one though, just because I love her books. She kind of has her genre locked down, but I would love to see her branch out. Colleen Hoover, I think, just needs to keep writing smut. She's good at it. I just want to see Morgan Matson do something else because her writing is delicious. I love reading it. And maybe something more from her. That would be cool. So those are all of the prompts that I have. This was actually super fun. I really enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed sitting down, looking at my shelves, and writing down authors because I apparently have a lot of authors that I'm pretty well read with. As in, I've read like multiple genres of multiple authors. So this was super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Again, I will leave the original video linked down below. Thank you so much, Julie. This was a super fun tag, and I will leave everybody tagged down below. Also, consider yourself tagged. I will tag specific people, but I also just kind of want to see other people do this because this is actually a very fun video to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you agreed with some of my answers or disagreed down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button because I have more videos coming very soon, and I'll see you guys in my next one.